take to get over you? I'm gonna need me a raise to get over you. Why don't I clean up my life? I'ma need me a raise. So dirty. Rollie or two, yeah, rollie or two.
Look at this, you guys. We got us a set. Tendin to your business got a set. I'm your host, Sheena. If you haven't figured that out by now, girl, welcome. And I'm shouting the crew out because we got a crew too. Hey, you guys. I don't know how they gonna edit it out. It's none of my business. But yo, so we're halfway through season 5. We started off season 5 with Recenter Her. I said, oh, I didn't want to talk about small business no more. I don't want to talk about men no more. I don't want to talk about men matter no more. Because men still matter. Don't get me wrong. It's still June. Still men's mental health awareness month. So we definitely got to get in for my guys. Make sure you get all checked out. Shameless plug for my guys. But I just kind of got to a point where I really had to bring my life to a screeching halt or I was going to lose my mind. I felt so off track with my purpose. And that's kind of where this episode, we are jumping into like the life cycle of all the shit that I've done, all the hats that I've worn. And people always like, oh, where did you get that skill set from? Baby, I picked it up. I just got up and did it. But I got to a point now, especially recently, where I I want to just stay at home. Like I don't want to be bothered with anything other than my child and the things that he has to do. I just miss so much of that, I think, in my older son's life. So let's pause. We're going to take a second to just say welcome back to season 5.5 in the new space. Shout out to TMG Studios. We're going to go through what TMG means because it's heavy, okay? I'm going to have to bring in some reinforcement to tell you because I can barely pronounce it, okay? I can barely pronounce it. But it's a story, and I need y'all to know. So we welcome the team. We welcome the fun things that's going to happen in the rest of season 5 and where all this all takes us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share this with your girlfriends. Twerking with your friends. Send it all. I need all of you all here, I need to know your thoughts. Did you transition to being a stay-at-home mom like I did? So, all right, I get out of high school. I figure out, like, I don't want to have kids right away because that's like the American dream. You graduate high school, you marry your high school sweetheart, and then you live happily ever after. Well, baby, that was not my idea of happily ever after at all. So I dated a guy or so when I was in high school, and it was cool. I mean, I had to move on though. So I decided instead of going to college, I was going to the Air Force. My parents were Air Force. My mom and dad, they met each other in the Air Force. My uncles, my aunt, everybody is Air Force. I got a couple of Army folks in there. Hoorah to my Army folks. But I went to the military. I didn't have to worry about nothing. I was gonna go. Now they tease about you go get a charger, baby. I got that Malibu, and you could not tell me nothing. Okay, I started on some 20s. You know how hard it is, and all the changes you got to do to put a Malibu on some 20s. Okay, just ridiculous. I was obsessed with this like boat paint. Like you seen a boat with the super glittery, sparkly paint in it, yo. Oh. I would paint my car that same color right now, actually. I don't care if it's not allowed for motor vehicles. But that sparkly paint color that's on boats, I need that. I had that. And like I was living the best life possible. I'm an oldest child. So a lot of my school and high school was me watching my brothers and sisters. And that got real old real fast because I'm a real outside type of bitch. Even to this day, I just be like, I need to go outside. I just got to be outside. And going in the military was the most outside thing I could have done. And I enjoyed it. I'm really, really glad that I did. One of the first briefings we had when we got to my first duty station, shout out Columbus Air Force Base, Columbus, Mississippi, about 40 minutes from Starkville. We partied it up with Mississippi State. Like, we were down at EMCC in Meridian. Shout out to Big Crit. Like, we know all of those. The car shows was our thing. Hair show, car show. And one, what you mean? I got a helicopter. They spinning, nigga. They spinning, nigga. On top of my head. On top of the wheels. Like, they everywhere. So, like, I lived my best life in Mississippi. It is like, there's nothing to do to get in trouble. I can't do drugs because drugs are illegal in the military. So, and I wasn't really interested in drugs. Alcohol, baby. We're going to talk about that another time. Me and alcohol became besties and just became just like party, work, party, work, party, work, party. But one of the first things that I remember from the briefing was when we had to set up like our thrift savings plan. And it was, you could save up to like 50% of your whole check and like into like a government style 401k. It's called TSP. And so I did 50% of my check. The whole time I was in the military, never changed it. Then I got out the military and pretty quickly got another job. So I kept that same mindset. I said, okay, I can roll this over into my 401k and still just pay 50% to my paycheck. So no, I wasn't making a ton of money, but I had never missed it. Like I wasn't doing anything that required me to have a whole bunch of money. I got out the military, went and stayed with my mom for a few months until I could get like a roommate, and then moved out with a roommate. I just kind of always lived within my means. So I got the opportunity to really advance and excel. Once I got out of the military, I started working for a big telecommunications company and worked my way up the food chain to 18 years later. I was a program manager, six figures, and had been at six figures for like the last 10 years. So it was almost unheard of at the point that I started. Not to say unheard of, but it was very few black women making the type of money that I was making when I moved back to North Carolina. I've always been the primary breadwinner, and I've always still made sure to save half. So my whole life, my entire career, I've always put away half my check. So when it came to a point where I decided whether or not I wanted to continue dealing with the madness of corporate America, I had to sit down with myself and my family. And I was like, what do y'all really want me to do? Like, I'm great at my job. I'm great at what I do. But how can I be better with you guys? Like, how can I be a better mom? At the time, I had a boyfriend. Like, how can I be a better girlfriend? How can I be a better person to be more present with you all? I had got to the point where I was like tired of chasing the accolades. It was like I was top 1% in my company. We were doing millions of dollars in project work. And this is at a time where like Salesforce was coming over. We implemented Salesforce. We were at the top of the food chain for implementing technology into the company. So I was at a really good space when we talk about the change of technology, machine learning. Before there was AI, we were teaching the machine how to understand the algorithms that we were putting in, understanding the things that we could do to support our customers, to support the databases that we're now doing in cloud computing. So my resume is pretty thick when it comes to the achievements that I've made, and it just never became enough. It was just one more project to do, one more, accolade to have. And it was like I'm missing the key points in my kids' lives. So I kind of take a step back. Things start to happen in my own family life where I have to question if I have to pick between my presence or my job. And I kind of kept getting to the point where I had to keep picking my job. And I didn't like that. I didn't want to do that anymore. I had to really sit down and say, I had went on a work trip. My youngest son was like one. I don't even think he was one. He might have just turned one. And he was a pacifier baby. So he was always with me if he wasn't like, at daycare or I was at work. And me and the pacifier, we would like a tag team. Like if either he could calm down with the pacifier, he could calm down with me. And when I went on a work trip, I was gone for like a week, and my mom took the pacifier away from him. And I still don't think, he got back right after that. But I had to be like, I missed like that big part of his life. Like I wasn't there to comfort him when she took the passy away. I know she had to torture my baby when he didn't get the passy, but I felt so guilty. I felt so guilty of being away from him for that. And I was like, I got to get out of this. I got to get away from this. So it moved into wanting to do, just make things. I'm a crafty type of motherfucker. So I like to sit down and do things. Bracelets is where I landed. And it started off because I wanted to buy the bracelet and it was too damn much. Like, y'all know a bitch is on a budget. And one of my friends had this bracelet. He told me where to get it from. And I was like, yo, I need that bracelet. I went to that place and that man was like $45. I was like, sir, I'll give you 30 for it. He was like, goodbye. I was like, but little did he know he created a freaking monster. Because I went home, I found the materials. I went to every Michael's I could find. I pulled up every YouTube video I could find. And I figured out how to make them bracelets. And honestly, that's a really fun story because 10 years later, we used to work out at the same gym. And I seen the car, like he had like a work car with the name of the company that I had, shopped in 10 years ago to see this bracelet. I was like, you own this? He was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? I sell these bracelets. Do you still sell these bracelets? He was like, nah, I lost my vendor. I was like, say word. So I was like, well, I make them now and I make them in a variety. Like if you want to, partner together, I'd be more than happy to make some for your store and you can sell them out of your store. He was like, bet, bring some by. We'll, see what it does. We were strong for a good 5 years. And we became the bracelet sheen baller retailer for Caps Urban Wear. Shout out to Caps Urban Wear. But like just following the path that I wanted to do started open up so many doors that I couldn't ignore them. So I just, that turned into doing a project with eBay. eBay came to Greensboro and they built, 75 businesses that were small business, single owned, one person, one man band type of thing. And how can we really teach them how to market the eBay way and like put us on a platform to support us? And it was great. It was like a cohort. We did it for like a year. And I was able to learn basically drop shipping, how to be my own drop shipper and how to move large amounts of bracelets at a very quick time, easier, streamlined shipping. Like eBay really has it all when it comes to some of those bigger things. I think now how like people sell on TikTok and whatnot. Like eBay is really the carrier in the game for that when it comes to usability. So for myself, I'm one person making bracelets, doing bracelets. I got 100 orders to ship. They have a really great platform on how to do those. So all of these technologies, all these programs, all these things start to snowball into more entrepreneurship. And it's like, now I'm not going to make all these businesses that support all these things, but I know all of these things. So how can I utilize this information? And consultant eventually rolled around. So I transitioned from being a retailer to being a consultant. And I am at the same time still going through, well, finishing up my degree, which is interdisciplinary studies, and I chose to focus in on justice studies. So if you start to study justice very quickly, race and class and gender, all of those things come up together to figure out, all right, this is how this impacts this person, how this impacts this person. So it went from an entrepreneurial space to now understanding the people that are the entrepreneurs, understanding the business that they do. They understand the different ways that they may make money or contain revenue, not even necessarily make money, but how do they do the best thing with their product? How do they get that product to who needs it in an affordable way? So consulting was my jam. Then I did that for a few years and I said, I'm gonna take a break from this too. Jackson wants to play football. He wants to play baseball. I can't be running people's social media or doing pop-ups, doing all these things at their businesses. And I just need to lock in and again do for my child, because these are the memories he's gonna have. Like this is his childhood. He doesn't get a chance to redo this. And I can go make a business anytime. I can go do any of that whenever I want to. But I just had to lock in and be like, all right, here we go again. A lot of the times we think we need to do more. And for me, it was doing less. So now I'm like 100% available for my kid, which is one of the first times in my life I'm able to do that. And my oldest is almost 21. So in 21 years, I've not just been able to relax and be a mom or even focus on the things that I like doing as a mom. Like people think about stay-at-home moms, like you're catering to your kids all day long. No, the hell you ain't. The kids be at school during the day. Now what do I have to do to fulfill myself in the meantime? It's just I just got the one kid, but we're not like junky people, so it's not like a constant barrage of cleaning up and toys and da 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 like people make it seem. At least not in our house. You know what I'm saying? We go in our rooms, we sit in the bed, we put our stuff in the dishwasher. Like we have rules that we all abide by that make it really easy on all of us. So I don't know. I would suggest anybody thinking about taking a leap. Take a gap year as an adult. Like, take a gap year away from the pressures of capitalism. Take away time to really get to know your kids. I know whether or not my kid's gonna like something. I know whether or not it's gonna make them happy or them frowning. And your presence is always way more important than like the gifts. Jackson's birthday was last week, and he probably can't tell you like what the gifts were. I mean, he might have had a couple that were really nailed it, but most of it is going to be like, oh, the bouncy house that we had, we were able to jump at the bouncy house, and I learned how to do a backflip in the bouncy house. Oh, my mom was there, my grandma was there, my dad was there, my cousins were there, like everybody I love was there. So really consider, yeah, you're trading in time is money for real, but those are your kids. You can't get that time back with them, and you can't make it up with their grandkids. Who's even to say you're gonna have grandkids? Like, I don't think I'm having no grandkids. I just don't see I just can't see it. I just don't. Ew. I just can't see it. My children procreated. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. But in the meantime, I'm able to actually just enjoy what I can with what I got, right? And we still live within our means. We still do the things. So it's still not like we're doing a whole bunch of excess stuff, but we enjoy the time we have together. We cook together. We go shopping together. I'm really intentional about him being aware and being around and understanding how his place in my life is. I'm not just his mom. I'm the person he shares a home with. I'm the person who has to sit on the toilet seat too. Like, I'm the person who's eating the other half of the thing that he's eating outside of just being mom. Sometimes it's easy to just get wrapped up in that name and that title, but you're just so much more than mom. Like me, I'm Sheena. I'm just Sheena. Yes, being a mom is something I enjoy doing, but I'm also a billion other things, and I enjoy all of those. So I just won't tie myself to being a mom, and I don't think you should either. So I'm not wrapping that up. That's a lot. Go back and run it back if you missed the part. Ask some suggestions. Y'all leave me some comments. I'm really excited. Well, tell me what y'all think about the video. The video. We are here again, TMG Studios. I'm going to put all the information in the thing for us to find to make sure if you're in the area, you can record here too, but just not with my background, okay? This is mine. You can't have this. This is mine. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of this podcast. I'm proud of y'all for sticking around. But yes, stay at home mom life, from military, from all the other stuff, corporate life, all kinds of things. I could talk about all the things I've done, but so far, the coolest thing has been being a stay at home mom. So y'all make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.
What does it take to get over you? I'm gonna need me a raise. Why don't I clean up my life? I'ma need me a raise. So dirty. Rollie or two, yeah, rollie or two.
Not crying. If I cry, edit that shit out. I'll be crying like a bitch. It don't have to. I mean, they can be in or out. I just didn't want them to be like, obviously, feet. Start. I need some like sound effects. I would like some like squishy sound effect ones, like ASMR foot content. Definitely. Of the body, not of the queen, she not out there. But like Tweedledum and Tweedledee might be out there.